Very important process. I love these exploding mics, don't you? No, it's good for emphasis, you know? It explodes every time. Yeah, right. It explodes every time you're about to make an important point, so it's okay. It's not bad. I don't know. Normally I say don't pay the guy that supplied the mics, you know?
A very lethargic Donald Trump there doesn't know how to speak in a microphone, so what does he do? He blames the contractors, he blames the workers, and tells his team not to pay the workers who set up this disastrous event in Oakland County, Michigan. This is a part of his speech. This isn't just him saying, don't pay this contractor, don't pay that contractor. As he goes city to city as part of his traveling fascist circus events that he calls rallies, he's literally mocking contractors and workers wherever he goes. Let me give you other exhibits so you can just see it for yourself. For example, when Donald Trump was in Dayton, Ohio, he said, "Do not pay these suckers, please." And then he blamed Joe Biden for tampering with the teleprompter. And he said, "Don't pay these suckers." This is in Dayton, Ohio. Play the clip.
But if you don't have fair elections, you don't. And you know what I add to it more and more? The fake news. They should be the police of our country, because if they were legit, they don't, you know, the biggest problem I have with them is the things they don't report. They barely, until recently, they would not talk about the borders. They wouldn't talk about the fact that our country is being destroyed at the borders. It's what they don't say that's a problem. And they don't say a lot. And what they do say is fake news. So other than that, I think they're fantastic. I'll move this over. Great job, fellas. Don't pay these suckers, please. Don't pay. Whoever the hell did that, son of a gun. These people. I think Joe Biden put them in. With your vote, we will throw out the Bidenomics and we will reinstate a thing called MAGAnomics.
Here is Donald Trump in Las Vegas, Nevada, where he says, "The microphone is terrible and I don't pay contractors who do you know, I don't like to curse here on the network. I'm just saying what he says, a shitty job." And then he repeats the curse word. I won't say it again. And then he says, "The contractors here are doing an S-word job." And this is just part of his speech. Here, play the clip.
And you know, it's going to lead to great things. A lot of people don't give. I know a lot about overtime. I'd hated to give overtime. I hated it. I'd get other people, I shouldn't say this, but I'd get other people in, I wouldn't pay. I hated. This is going to lead to a lot more. I think it's going to be economically positive, but I'm not even doing it for that reason. I'm doing it because like the no tax on overtime, it's something so good.
Okay, I'll show you another example of this. He does this in mostly all of his speeches. Here he is in West Palm Beach, Florida, lashing out at the staff for his microphone mid-speech, saying that he's not going to pay the bill for the contractors. Play this clip.
And I'm glad it's such, because this is the worst microphone I think I've ever had. I hope you can hear me back there. Justin, don't pay the bill for this mic. I'm blowing out my voice talking to this stupid mic. This is the worst mic I've ever had. Okay, now we'll get back to the speech. I'm trying to get their attention. Turn up the mic. Is it okay? And then I don't pay a bill and they say, Trump doesn't pay his contractors.
Now, I can show you countless more examples of that, but I think you get the point there. Let me show you what else he does at his own campaign events quite frequently. He dresses people up who aren't union workers in union worker garb. He dresses fake firefighters up in firefighter outfits and pretends that they're firefighters for Trump. And for example, the Scranton Firefighter Union has to say, no, those people actually aren't firefighters. He goes to non-union shops and dresses people up with shirts that say union workers for Trump and signs that say union workers for Trump. And then he belittles workers. So here, for example, he's saying how much he hates to pay overtime. Play it.
And you know, it's going to lead to great things. A lot of people don't give. I know a lot about overtime. I'd hated to give overtime. I hated it. I'd get other people, I shouldn't say this, but I'd get other people in, I wouldn't pay. I hated. This is going to lead to a lot more. I think it's going to be economically positive, but I'm not even doing it for that reason. I'm doing it because like the no tax on overtime, it's something so good.
So that speech right there was in Saginaw, Michigan. Here he is in another city in Michigan. This is Walker, Michigan, where he talks about how he hates to make overtime payments and that he just won't do it. It costs a fortune. He won't make overtime payments. Here, play this clip.
And boy, this is good for you because I know exactly where you make your money. I used to have to pay that damn overtime. It would cost a fortune.
And again, I can show you countless more clips like that because he does this frequently. Part of his speech is mocking the concept of overtime. Now, I don't know your personal situation, but I would venture to guess that either you or someone in your life believes that overtime payment is an important thing when you work hard to get fairly compensated, right? So Donald Trump, when he was actually in office, he would do things like appoint people to the Labor Relations Board, appoint people to various other committees and boards that would help businesses eliminate overtime pay, help businesses take away people's tips. One of the things that Donald Trump is conning people on now is he goes, no taxes on tips. Well, Donald Trump doesn't believe in tips, okay? How do we know that? When he was in office, his concept was, his rule that he wanted to pass, but Democrats had to stop it. Just, you can Google it yourself. Search what was Donald Trump's view on taxes on tips when he was actually in office, and Google whether Donald Trump wanted businesses or Donald Trump's administration was going to pass a rule to allow businesses to the business owner to take the tips from the service worker. And you'll find that that indeed it was the case. But that's his view. And then Donald Trump's other view is that if you go on strike, if you collectively bargain, you should be fired. So Donald Trump's top surrogate now is Elon Musk. Elon Musk has given hundreds of millions of dollars to try to get Donald Trump elected to help Elon Musk. And here's Donald Trump speaking with Elon Musk at a campaign event, laughing and joking about how Elon Musk fires workers who are striking. Play this clip.
This cutter, I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say, you want to quit? They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike and you say, that's okay, you're all gone. You're all gone. So every one of you is gone, and you are the greatest. You would be very good. Oh, you would love it. But, you know, if you look at Argentina.
And that's consistent with Donald Trump's message. As I mentioned, when Donald Trump was in a non-union shop that he faked and pretended was a union shop, he told the fake union workers that you're picketing for the wrong reasons. Here, play this clip.
In other words, your current negotiations don't mean as much as you think. I mean, I watch you out there with the pickets, but I don't think you're picketing for the right thing. But if they...
Autumn leaves are so beautiful until they're clogging your gutters. And I know you're probably busy like me this season, so getting up on a ladder and cleaning your gutters can be very difficult. And I'm a low maintenance kind of homeowner, so I want to try to find solutions that protect my home and that don't require that much work for me while I'm focused on our pro-democracy media network. So look, I made an investment in something called Leaf Filter because it's really an investment in protecting my home and, in your case, your own home. I mean, clogged gutters, they're not just a nuisance. They can cause extensive problems, and do-it-yourself solutions may work for the time being, but ultimately cost more money in the long run. So what Leaf Filter does is it uses this patented technology to keep out everything but water. No holes, no gaps, or large openings for debris to get through. Every installation comes with a free inspection estimate and lifetime guarantee. The lifetime guarantee was really important for me. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will clean out, realign, and seal your gutters before installing Leaf Filter. And over 1 million homeowners have trusted Leaf Filter. So protect your home and never clean out gutters again with Leaf Filter. It's America's #1 gutter protection system. Schedule your free inspection and get up to 30% off your entire purchase at leaffilter.com/Meidas. That's a free inspection and up to 30% off at leaffilter.com/Meidas. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior and military discount, one discount per household. Again, leaffilter.com/Meidas. Now, you will recall that President Biden stood on the side of union workers. President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris have literally been on the picket lines with workers and have probably contributed to you or someone that you know actually getting more income when Donald Trump would have allowed businesses to fire people, to be very clear. So what else is Donald Trump doing as part of his campaign? I'm just giving you receipts right now and data points that you can show friends, family member, coworkers, or if you're in a union and you have people who are in the union who don't know about these things because they're just not getting information from corporate media, just show them these clips and you could have them Google and research these things just to double check that I'm showing you everything that's out there. I'm trying to give you a full picture. So Donald Trump then goes back to Mar-a-Lago and he holds these secret fundraising events with his billionaire buddies. And then he talks about, oh, you're all so freaking rich. I'm going to give you all the best tax cuts imaginable. We got our hands on the secret footage. Here it is.
Because you're all people that have a lot of money. I know 20 of you and you're rich as hell. We're going to give you tax cuts. We're going to pay off our debt. We're going to do all of the things that we have.
But honestly, you don't even need secret footage here because here's Donald Trump when he's asked about giving fair taxes for the rich, just fair, equal taxes to the rich. Donald Trump says you don't tax the rich. Here, play the clip.
And they keep blaming, the blame always seems to go on her end to corporate price fixing and vilifying the corporations in this country, the companies in this country. When asked how she's going to pay for the agenda last night on 60 Minutes, she just keeps saying she's going to tax the rich. Even Bill Whitaker on 60 Minutes is saying, well, we live in the real world. How are you really going to do that?
Well, you don't tax the rich because the rich are going to, look, the rich pay most of the tax in the country.
Now, you may have forgotten this, but remember how Donald Trump doesn't release his tax returns, right? Because Donald Trump doesn't pay taxes. What do you mean he doesn't pay taxes? Donald Trump basically has many years where he's paid $0 in taxes, $0, zero. And then some other years where he's paid $750 in taxes, which is basically the filing fee. That's what, so it's basically zero. Now, you pay more money in taxes than Donald Trump does, who purports to be a billionaire. I want you just to think about that. That's just the facts and the data. Why? Because he's always scamming the system. He's a scam artist. One of the biggest and best, if you want to call it best, but scam artists ever. But that's his skill set. Here, by the way, is Donald Trump showing up late at an event in St. Paul, Minnesota, and he spent most of the speech bashing the workers and stagehands who helped set up the stage he's speaking on, and he again says that he's not going to pay the contractors. Play this clip.
But Americans are not struggling. You know, this is the worst platform. Who put this stage up here? This is the worst. The frickin' place is falling down. I notice it keeps tilting further left. Like too many other things. What a crappy contractor this was. No, it's true. You know, I'm known as being a pretty tough negotiator, and sometimes I get a bad rep. A contractor does a bad job. I met a lot of great contractors there, but he does a bad job. I don't pay him.
And then when he's trying to talk about questions that people have about the economy, right? He's never gone grocery shopping before. You think Donald Trump's ever really gone grocery shopping? No, he hasn't. So people ask him a question. So tell us about groceries. And then Donald Trump's response is, you know what? That word grocery, it's a simple word. It means everything you eat. The stomach is speaking. Here, play this clip.
I have more complaints on grocery. The word grocery, you know, it's sort of simple word, but it sort of means like everything you eat. The stomach is speaking. It always does. And I have more complaints about that bacon and things going up, double, triple, quadruple. As part of this effort, I will pay.
I mean, what in the world are you talking about there? And here Donald Trump is asked a very simple question by someone at one of these town hall events, these contrived fake town hall events that he does. And someone says to him, what would you do to help small businesses? And I want you to listen to this incoherent response. Here, play this clip.
My question is, What's your plan to help bring common sense back and help small businesses?
So, great. The fact is that, they want to get away from gas. And I have friends, they're into the cooking world. I'm not. I just like to eat. But they're into the cooking. And I don't know how you feel. It sounds like they feel that gas is much better than the electric for cooking, right? And they have this thing about, they want to put gas out of business, right? No gas. The amazing thing? We don't have electric in this country, but we have all the gas you can use. We have oil and gas. That's what we have. And even the cars, if you look, they want to go with all electric cars. California is having blackouts every week, brownouts, blackouts, and then they come up with rules and regulation to go to all electric, but they can't even supply what they have. It's so nuts. We're going to get, number one, your utility costs. You heard me say it before. Your costs will be down, and we're getting rid of all the and if you want electric, great. And if you want gas, great. The only thing you can't have is a hydrogen car, right? You heard me say that, right? Because you know what happens? They have a new car. They say it's great, but it's got one problem. You know what the problem is? Every once in a while, one will blow up. And if it does blow up and you happen to be inside of it, you're in bad luck because you're not recognizable. Do you know that? It's the new thing, hydrogen. I said, no, thank you. I don't want it. They called the wife. That's not my husband. Oh, yes, it is. It's no good.
Now, one of the things that we see as well is that not only is he attacking the contractors, but because Donald Trump is so cheap and doesn't pay people, we are seeing at events like his Coachella event recently, stranding people at his events because he's not organizing the shuttles back after the event, just bringing people to the event to get the photo op. Or how about his recent event in Oaks, Pennsylvania, where he was too cheap to do the event in a location that has air conditioning. And he put the people so close together to make it look like a big crowd, even though it was a very teeny tiny crowd with no air conditioning. So people start passing out because he's too cheap to pay for a venue that has AC. And then the people are screaming, medic, medic, and just watch the way he looks. Play the clip. I'll leave you with this final clip, and this one is of Mark Cuban, an actual billionaire. And here's what Mark Cuban says about how Donald Trump doesn't pay contractors and doesn't pay his workers. Play this clip.
Look, here's something that just astonished me. When he was going through his trials in New York for misleading on his loan forms, right? During one of the trials, Michael Cohen got up there to testify. And he testified about how Donald Trump asked him to short pay vendors. And he was proud of the fact that he did it for Mr. Trump, as he called him, right? I don't know why, but I expected, you know how he would hold a little impromptu press conference after each day of the trial? For some reason, I thought he would come out and say, no, I never asked him to short pay vendors, right? Didn't say a word about it. Probably the worst thing you could say about a business person is he short pays his vendors. He doesn't pay what he owes. That is the ultimate arbiter of trust that you have with any business person. Do they pay you when you do work for them? Yes or no? He was proud of the fact, didn't question it at all. When you rip off hardworking Americans, you are not qualified to be president of the United States of America.
So you see, folks, I could give you a myriad examples of Donald Trump's actual policies when he was in office, like I did here, to show you how anti-worker they are. But I can also just show you what is he saying on the speeches right now, and how, if you have dignity and pride, I hope you have pride in yourself and your family work or family members for the work that you do, right? I mean, I have a lot of pride in the work that I do, and I know you have a lot of pride in the work that you do. So he goes around and mocks your work as part of his campaign, and then he wants your vote? What? What are we talking about there? And you saw it for yourself there. And if you want to Google these things like what's Donald Trump's policy about allowing business owners to steal the tips of service workers, Google it. You'll find it out. Democrats were the ones who stopped that from going into law. They passed a law in their omnibus bill. They passed an omnibus bill to block Trump from doing that. So just research these things, okay? Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe and let's get to 4 million subscribers.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.